Hi there. This is Joy Grafe, Mrs. Grafe. I am your son or daughter's eighth grade math teacher, and I teach three different math courses on Team Andromeda. I teach CC Year 3, which is a pre-algebra moving into some algebra concepts to help kids get a really good grasp of the mathematics they need to be successful as a freshman taking algebra. Then I have a section of algebra students who will be taking the algebra keystone in May. So we're moving at a fairly quick pace, also with check-ins, and I highly encourage you to encourage your child to come see me if they're struggling. I'm always here to help. And then I also have a section of geometry kids who we dive in the year with rigid transformations to help us then work into um, looking at triangles. Are they similar? Are they congruent? How can we prove that? We use those ideas to help us later with proofs of quadrilaterals, and it's a really fun course. So I'm excited to work with your child in one of those three courses. To tell you a little bit more about eighth grade math, all of these courses, all three of these courses I teach come from the CPM curriculum, which stands for College Preparatory of Mathematics, which was developed by a group of teachers out of California. And a couple of the ideas that they believe in and that I do as well is mastery over time, meaning a concept we're going to work on in chapter 1, we are going to revisit in other chapters to be sure that kids don't just know it for a week or two, but this is something that is going into their long-term memory and they feel confident in. There's also spiraling on the assessments, meaning there is definitely a majority of new material on the assessments, but also some old. I give weekly homework. You can expect 1 to 2 assignments a week. And I'm always here during flex time, which is like what we used to call study hall back in our day. That flex is a time that kids can come to me with questions, wanting to do practice. If they have technical difficulties on Canvas or whatever, I'm here to aid them and help them with whatever they need. And it's just also a nice time to get to talk with some kids one-on-one and get to know them. Most homework assignments will come from the CPM textbook. Students will be getting an ebook. If they'd like a hard copy, I offer it to them. And what's great about the CPM textbook and on the ebook specifically, in blue, our homework is homework help. So I will show kids this year. I will show them probably also later in the year to make sure they remember where they can go for some homework help. Just other couple things to talk about before I sign off is in class, kids do sit with teams so that a majority of our classwork is group work to let the kids discuss and discover many of the ideas for themselves. Of course, I step in and facilitate and see where kids are getting confused and try to help. I definitely every day discuss problems they're doing to make sure if they were struggling while they were doing it. Once we're talking about it and going over it, do they understand it now? What questions do they have? And I do a lot of including kids in discussions. So you might hear them say, hey, my math teacher calls on me, even when I don't have my hand raised. And I encourage kids to raise their hand here and there throughout the week so I can call on them when they do have their hand raised. I don't try to ever put anybody in an awkward position, but I definitely want them to get involved in the class discussion so I can hear their reasonings. I have kids present their solutions, and anytime I do that, I give them a heads up ahead of time and say, hey, Susie, how about you present number 5 today? So they can say, yeah, I feel good about that, or no, I'm not so sure I want to do that, and make it a good experience for all. I do a lot of checks for understanding, which might come in an exit slip. Some days I collect their homework just to take a look at it, or I ask questions in a video that they're answering to see how they're feeling. Canvas. Canvas is a site for my course content, as it is for all teachers out there. On that site, I have Khan Academy instructional videos and practice problems. I have practice problems from CPM with solutions. I have Quizlets. I have quizzes. That's a couple things to name. I try to definitely put those things in each week/chapter on Canvas to make sure kids have places they can go for help. I'm really excited to have a great year with the kids, have everybody back in the classroom. And I thanks so much for tuning into my video.